introduce some players, as we have got in the top left-hand corner our first player of the day in the red, our Protoss. This is Creator. Taking on our blue Terran in the bottom right corner of the map, this is HeroMarine from HeroSports. As again to match one of the day. So again, it's going to be this match followed by the Skilless versus Dark series. Then we have the winner of those two matches against each other, the loser of those two matches against each other. Then we have the other 4 matches still to come as well that feature Gun, Showtime, Spirit, and Ragnarok. Another full day of action hopefully here in the WardiTV Winter Championship. Yesterday we actually had a pretty fun day, pretty good day. Pretty lengthy day as well. Like we had a lot of longer matches take place, which was nice to see, honestly. It was just cool. So that was definitely a nice little positive. And yeah, excited to see what today will bring us. Hopefully more great games. Fingers crossed. Cake Machine 1, thank you so much for being the first year with a Prime sub today on the 10-month resub. Welcome back. Thank you so much for starting the stream off strong. Yeah, I've got this probe that was kind of going down the outside of the map and is now going to proxy. So we are going to get a pylon to the south, get that in place straight away here. Let's see if we can get anything off this, as we do have our pylon finishing. Let's see what builds up initially off of from Creator. It's as though we're going to get ourselves... Yeah, it feels like it should be a Stargate, right? It's not really timed out to be anything else, so a Stargate would probably make the most sense here. So we kind of down to see a Stargate on the opening. And get some aggression going. There it is. Stargate is placed. So Stargate comes in, and we will see the probe just backing it up. Obviously, so far, HeroMarine is blind. He opened Reactor first into a factory, goes Reapers off of the Reactors. He's going to get some Reaper Hellion up. This is very good for harassing yourself, but you're not immediately going to have a lot of anti-air to really deal with a proxy Stargate, so it turns into a pretty weird situation in that regard. This could definitely get very interesting very quickly. Just coming in with the Zealot to get an SCV off the natural as well, so we actually take that down pretty much immediately. And the 2 Reapers together will go and try and chase the Zealot off. Here's the Hellion as well, and this is all well and good until, yeah, you don't have anti-air, but we actually stopped at only 2 Reapers. We are now producing Marines. That actually is a bit of a bonus as well. These units will chase down these gateway forces, and that's actually really nice, because why the hell not? Gonna kill the Adept, now going to kill the Zealot. It's a great start here from HeroMarine. He's able to clean up a whole bunch of stuff. That is a very, very solid start as well. I mean, yeah, that's just great. However, the Marines are completely out of position, as is the Widow Mine, so this Oracle will get some damage done in the main. We fly straight in, we start to activate, and we will get 2, 3 SCVs. Now we pull the workers away. There's going to be a 4th there. Maybe we could get 5 over here, or 5 over here as well in the refinery. Either or. And yeah, that's really good damage. At the same time, though, we do move in with the Reaper Hellion, and that's a chance to deal some damage as well. 5 probes going down, looking to try and grab number 6 at the moment, but not quite going to get there. So we loop back around. Oracle goes back into the main base. And just going to see the SCVs already pulling away from the main, back down to the natural. There's a couple of Marines here that are going to latch themselves onto the Oracle. The most important thing is a Viking popping out will be a proper defense. And obviously with this Reaper Hellion, you've done just as much damage as you have taken. So actually works out pretty great for HeroMarine, I would say, who obviously did kill some early units as well, and yeah, I like this a lot for him actually, so seems pretty reasonable, all said and done. Oracle comes in, just going to activate onto our Reaper as it goes for just a final little bit of damage, just trying to get something extra towards the tail end here. Let's just have a Chrono Boost coming in, and another Oracle popping out. Follow this around for a few moments. Twilight Council builds on the side of our Protoss player as well, so just get the Twilight Council up and working for the early few moments too, get that underway. As the Cyclone lock-on very narrowly catches the Oracle, not quite, it gets very low, just about slipping out of there, so obviously important to try and keep that Oracle alive. You don't really want to see that going down. You kind of want these Oracles to maintain map control and The thing is as well, Triple Oracle one-shotting SCVs, etc. So at some point, Triple Oracle together can be very useful. Or just for the extra energy to keep on dropping the stasis wards as well. There's really a whole bunch of reasons why you might want to take this kind of a approach of keeping the Oracles up. And our follow-up here is going to be Blink. Honestly, I feel like I hate this because the reason this is kind of a little bit rough is that you're obviously playing Blink with a 3 Stargate unit opener. Your Blink is so late. I mean, he feels like you're going to be so vulnerable here for so long. Maybe Creator gets away with it, though, if HeroMarine can't hit a time, which usually he's really good at, obviously, and that's why I maybe hate it more than usual. HeroMarine's really good at hitting those timings. If he can hit the right timing here, I feel like Creator is just set up to crumble, rather than kind of rebuff any sort of attack that comes in. Been a weird opening, of course. It's been a weird early game, so maybe that builds up into it as well. Maybe he really felt like he could get away with the additional Stargate here, and we'll see if he will. In the next few moments, we'll see exactly how that pans out. There's a couple more warp gates, getting into warp gate mode in the Twilight Council, just chrono boosting out the Blink as well. Okay, the Oracles, 3 of them moving in. We'll grab 1 SCV straight away, drops a Revelation into the mineral line. Stimpack, Combat Shield, all continuing through. Just going to have our Viking hanging out in the main base. Cyclone and Marines all still gathering together as well. Just so far, so good. Stim Combat +1, all continuing in. And a couple more Stasis Wards will continue to drop down as well. So just get those Stasis Wards up on the 3rd base in the center. Obviously makes it very difficult for the Terran to move across the map, and especially to chase down these Stalkers in any way. So that generally is going to be a little bit of a bonus as well. Extra gates coming up, the sentry, the charge. Obviously just everything you kind of expect to see from here. Let's see what these Stalkers can do. They are going to go blink in and try and find some damage, and HeroMarine doesn't have much in the main. He stims a couple units back before sending them forward. Just wanted to get everything else here collected together, and I mean, loses maybe a couple of Marines, but really nothing of real import. Pretty simple kind of initial few moments here as that goes down without too many problems. We'll see the Stalkers and the Oracle. Actually, Stalker's going to blink up into the main base. Oh, the double Widowmine shot, though, gets rid of a couple Stalkers straight away. And that Bioforce now begins to move out across the map. So HeroMarine heading across to the top side of the map, get into position, as you will see the Stalkers going for Marauder, grabbing the Marauder. Oracle still up overhead. 6 SCVs going down. But it's a push now from HeroMarine, and this is going to be the question mark of, is there enough at home for Creator to defend? Well, he does have charge. That's going to be a major help. But he doesn't have that many Zealots yet. A few more just warped in. That Stasis Ward, oh my god, it's going to catch a whole bunch of units. It was about to expire. And in the end, of course, catching a whole bunch of units instead. HeroMarine will be slowed down. He's still got SCVs trailing out the front as well. And this is beginning to get, well, a little dangerous for HeroMarine. I don't think he has enough to actually go at the front anymore. As we do see a force field coming down, he is going to try and press further forward, but I feel like the moment is gone. He's going to drop the auto turrets as well, using the force field to choke this army up. They'll kill the Oracles off, but I think this just has to be a lift and get the hell out. We will just not lose one of the medevacs, so that's a big bonus, at least at the start. So that is again, like a beneficial start at the very least, I suppose. Ooh. Man, that's something at least then, because at least now you've done some damage to HeroMarine without taking too much. See this Bioforce come back across, and just putting out another one of these. Stasis wards. Obviously, any of those you can get rid of, the less trouble you're going to run into as you try and traverse across the map here. Cyclone staying locked on. The Stalker getting pinged down, getting quite low. Uh-oh. Unit's going to come from the other side. Big force going to come running in. We do see Zealots from the left as well. A couple Widow Mines going off already. Big shots. Medevacs being cleaned up as well. HeroMarine just gets completely shut down. And Creator is going to end up taking game 1 of this best of 3. So, in the bottom right-hand corner, our blue Terran player down a game and looking to bounce back. This is HeroMarine. Top left, our red Protoss able to take that first game then. And off to a strong start. Creator. Probes coming out, gateway going down. The simulator will go in from Creator as well, just off to the main side of the main base here. Just getting that ready as that racks, and a couple of gases coming up from HeroMarine as well. So all of this getting underway. SCVs just popping out of the command center and the refinery. Second gas coming up side of the main base as well. So all of this comes through. That probe just wandering across the map and down to the bottom side to see what it can get up to as well. There's going to again be a reactor first here from HeroMarine. Will wall off as well, so the probe can obviously see there's no expansion on the low ground, but will not be able to see beyond this to start out with. Probe just continue to nibble. People are taking a lot of hits. Reactor about to finish up. Again, the factory is coming in from HeroMarines. That is going to be his choice. Obviously, that's out of range of the probe being able to see it, so HeroMarine's able to keep this at least a little bit hidden early on, which is obviously fairly good info and fairly good news to have. Probe pulls away over to the left-hand side. Is going to be those couple of Reapers again. To be fair, really liked what he got done last game. This time is going to be the Stargate at home for Creator, so less likely that we see a trade out of workers. Much more likely that we see a defense from Creator where he uses the Oracle defensively or Phoenix defensively to deal with the first couple of Reapers and Hellions. I think that overall that probably benefits Creator a little further. So let's see exactly how it goes down. As the two Reapers for the moment just going to split out and split across a couple different directions. Trying to see what they can do. Reapers, Alien up to the top. We do have that Phoenix building from Creator as well. Wolfgate coming up to being about halfway done. A couple extra probes finishing shortly. The command center building on the natural. The probe over here just wandering around in the main base, and there's the wooden mine that burrows on the natural as well. Just gets that all set up as our Marine continues to play chase the probie. Probie getting hunted all the way around the backside of the main. Obviously, because HeroMarine hasn't had the opportunity, he hasn't been as aggressive with the Reaper Hellion. We do have a Phoenix or two now out to defend, so again, less likely that damage will be found from HeroMarine. Much more likely that Creator is going to be able to defend and deflect and not take any damage at all initially. And just much more passive, right? At the end of the day, this is just a game that is being a lot more kind of sitting back and not a lot else going on. I mean, one probe just went down that was scouting, and that's it. So, compared to the last game where we had those early units being chased down by the Reaper Hellion and all the probes and SCVs falling, just a much more passive game right now. Playing around the left, we do have two Vikings, few Marines, the Cyclone all pressing forward. And we do push up the right-hand side as we get a moving. Robo Bay, Forge, Nexus, all of that coming down. This army of HeroMarine getting set in the middle of the map. Well, as an observer is going to spot just the Hellion, doesn't really see the rest. Okay, now it does just glimpse the edge of this move out. So, will see this coming across. That means you can pull the Phoenix back into position. What else do we have? 3 Adepts only right now. It's a scary moment. The Immortal's not even ready just yet. Of course, this is not any upgrades or anything from HeroMarine, but fantastic opportunity for him to kill the third base, if absolutely nothing else. That third is definitely going to be one of the issues here. Man, never mind the third. He's actually going to walk up into this natural. Well, the reason he could do this, he got some good initial lock-ons. He killed off a couple of the adepts very early, and he just saw the opportunity to just keep on moving forward and looking for more damage. I don't hate it. Honestly, you've killed a lot of probes here, a lot of workers going down, so this is absolutely working in your favor if your name is HeroMarine, and it looks as though he is going to be set up to most likely take us to a game number 3, because, yeah, this is 17 workers killed. Never, like I say, never mind the third base. The worker damage here is obviously just through the freaking roof, so Cyclone Lock-On is going to go for Phoenix as well. Now, this other Phoenix likely not going to last too much longer. Stalker gets locked on. Vikings, Marines pulling away. One more lock-on as well. And just keeping these units dropping on HP. It's getting lower and lower. I mean, finally Creator will clean up, but HeroMarine potentially can come back across and reinforce this. He doesn't have to do it right now either. He's got time to just continue to close this game out, as he still doesn't have bio upgrades, which is maybe a way for Creator to get back in this game, because maybe HeroMarine can't follow up as strongly for, as quickly perhaps. Immortal, Sentry coming back down the ramp, +1 attack, a couple Stalkers coming through, and our Vikings already coming across. Again, Stim, Combat, +1. All these upgrades still coming in from HeroMarine. Obviously, once they are done, it really should be a situation where you just surge across the map and you just have a little bit too much, quite frankly. I'd be very shocked if it turned out to be any different than that. As our hallucination comes across the other side. HeroMarine has, dropped a bit of supply. Last little bit of cleaning up was good from Creator, but you got to remember that Creator is way behind on workers, so HeroMarine's able to produce a lot more. And Creator had all of his initial tech reset. He lost every single one of his Phoenix. The only tech unit he kept alive was an Immortal, which is kind of meant to be the unit that is, helps you survive that attack. It's not the unit you necessarily want for the next phase of the game. The Immortal is one of the less useful units in that scenario. So this just looks incredibly good at the moment for HeroMarine. Like I said, maybe the last little bit was maybe not quite as pretty, but he is very well set up here. And honestly, a game with a stim push, I can really imagine him going across the map and having a really good time because of the damage done earlier on. Hallucination gets through for the scout, seeing what's up in the main base initially as well, so just getting that initial bit of info also. As our 2 tanks get sieged, that bio army going to move up the left. And again, just waiting for that stim pack to finish. We see 2 more Stalkers and a Sentry warping in from Creator, so they're going to begin to move down into the middle of the map also. Singular Marine moves over to the sides. Okay, just a bit of this army just going to set up over here, a little bit of a stim forward. We're going to be met immediately by Stalkers, Colossus, and Immortal, and Sentries. It's not really much choice other than to, again, back it up. And he just doesn't have that kind of overwhelming force on the map just yet. I mean, he's got a lot of units still at home, I believe. The 2 tanks, the 3 tanks even are still at home. And he is just setting up to make sure he's not going to be in trouble from counterattacks as well. Loads Marines into that initial bunker. Let's do attack still on the way, coming up to being about halfway done. The Blink is coming up to finishing as well. Again, our hallucination still kind of wandering around. A few Marines come through in the army of Creator. Look to try and essentially, yeah, I mean, get active on the map. Maybe just looking for a drop or 2 here, trying to get a little bit lucky. Maybe feels like the game doesn't have a lot going on right now. And because the game doesn't have a lot going on, you probably start feeling like, huh, what's kind of happening? What's going on? Why isn't something happening here? What am I missing? So yeah, maybe trying to catch a drop that kind of, would have lined up with the idea of, well, why is nothing happening? Definitely some questions to be had as a couple of Vikings more come to the front. And obviously the more Vikings we have, the easier time we're going to have against the Colossi and everything. HeroMarine basically maxed out here before getting across the map. Really feel like there was definitely opportunities for him sooner. And he poked earlier in the game, but I really felt there was going to be a larger opportunity for him much earlier in this game that's obviously just never come to fruition. Well, now he's actually going to load up the medevacs and go potential drop into the main base, and it's just going to be so difficult for Creator to defend. He's got to defend the low ground too. If you don't split correctly here, you can... Okay, Creator might just wipe that army on the low ground because now he has to... You have to respond to the drop, though. He was set up to pincer in from two sides onto this, and as the recall comes in, HeroMarine will set up to push in on the front as well, and he's actually going to wrap around this army. He landed the Vikings, and he's like, oh, nope, there is in fact a Colossus here. Let's actually deal with that. As we load up some of the units from the main base, pull them to the low ground. This one was actually very well executed from HeroMarine. The drop in the main, back to the low ground, focus on this fight instead. Just very nicely done. As they drop down a pylon, the disruptor fires. We head into the center of the bio. A little bit of bio will continue through, and just going to go grab this disruptor. So that disruptor will go down. Another disruptor shot fires across. Obviously, at this point as creator, you're really hoping these disruptors hit some miracle shots. You need something very, very good to go your way. As Zealots continue through, just going to be seeing the couple more tank shots going down. Stalker's taking an absolute beating, by the way, as well. Obviously, tanks just layering this army with splash damage, and that will do it. Game number 2 goes to HeroMarine. We get tied up for our first matchup of the day. As we have got the bottom left corner, red Protoss player, Creator. Top right, our blue Terran from our sports is HeroMarine. It's 1-1. If you're just joining us, welcome. You are not too late to join on the epic action. This is our first match of the day. We've got 7 more best of 3s after it. I love these days, guys. I just set 8 best of 3s of great players, top level content. It's just good, man. It's just very, very good. I like it a lot. Big fan. Very exciting. And, of course, we get ourselves going on this one as a barracks comes down, a refinery sets up, and we just have this probe going to wander forward here from Corridor up into the main base. A little bit of a scout to see just what exactly is going on. Reactor goes down again. HeroMarine sticking to this double gas reactor first play. So, very similar build game after game here from HeroMarine, really just doing... same kind of things on repeat, pretty much. It's just being very consistent in that regard. See our factory going through. The reactor's coming up on the barracks. That'll be done in the next couple of moments. And that was a lag spike, so hopefully nothing too major. Hopefully no big issues here. We can just continue through without problems. Is this live or is it replay? This is live, guys. First 4 matches of today are all live. Glide is lagging again. No. Glide isn't in the lobby today, guys. One of the other streamers that's covering on 3D channel. Yes, first 4 matches today are live, and while these first 4 live matches happen, as basically the same as what we always do, we'll have 4 matches happening at the same time. And we will cast those replays straight after these live matches, so they're going to be, 2-3 hours old at worst. And just allows us to get all 8 best of 3s broadcast while not having to worry about the players staying up super late or being invested super long on the day and stuff like that. HeroMarine streaming right now too. See, that's why we did the HeroMarine games live as well, so that he could, because I assumed he was going to stream, so it means he can stream without issue, right? Just doesn't have to worry himself about any of that. I mean, not that we'd stop players streaming anyways. If players want to stream their point of view and then they're not live matches, I do let them do it because we don't want to, you know, hold back the players. I understand in this day and age of StarCraft 2, if you're streaming or you want to stream, then it's absolutely something that's very important to you, and I wouldn't want people to feel like they get hard done by my events or put off my events because they're not allowed to stream, so that's always open to the players. Is this tournament being played out daily? Yes. Today, tomorrow, and Friday. So we finish everything on Friday. And tomorrow we'll have the next few rounds as well. So, and then at the weekend, WardiTV Korean Royale, days 5 and 6 are here as we really get close to wrapping up the groups on the Korean Royale. It's going to be quite exciting as well. Creeper just hopping up, obviously is able to see the Twilight Council there, so information gathering from HeroMarine. He knows what tech structure his opponent has committed into in the early stages. This medevac is going to come out and head down to the far left side of the map and then maybe down in toward the main base. So just setting up and along for that at the moment as 2 Reapers and a Hellion will take the Watchtower. And obviously all the map control early here is in favor of HeroMarine. There's Adept going to spot the medevac, so at least you now have a heads up as to where this is coming from, but this could even just focus on the initial pylon here. This doesn't have to be too fancy. And Stalkers defending this from the high ground will have a tough time because it's going to be difficult for them to reach across the buildings. They can tuck themselves in the corner, but that's about it. Whoa, we're going to blink to the low ground. That's dangerous for these Stalkers. If a Cyclone can get a lock onto one of the healthier Stalkers, that would have been great because then he probably could have killed that. Now we're moving forward again, obviously blinking back, but these units are still out on the map, right? So you might not be able to catch them. But they're still somewhat kind of, like I say, out in the open. We're going to get a lock on. We do not stick it long enough to get another kill, though. Does HeroMarine have any other units that are going to show up to help? This is obviously very weird, because I guess HeroMarine's also in trouble now, especially as extra Stalkers show up, because he's going to have his units just kind of kited down and cleaned up and everything as well. 9 Stalkers and a Prism. Obviously 3 gateways from Creator means that he can turn up the progression from here. Back at home, there's 2 tanks already, though. HeroMarine should be pretty much safe from this. There shouldn't be like a, you know, break into the other side of the map and HeroMarine isn't ready. He should be pretty okay. He should be pretty fine in this defensive position. So, man, I kind of thought he was like, he's going to lose the pylon, we just go from there. But, man, he just blinked onto it immediately and just super decisive from Creator, recognizing, hey, I can do this. Like, I can go and take this fight. I can go down this ramp and do what I want to do. That was, yeah, that was really interesting. Just cool move, right? Because, like I say, it was decisive. It was quick thinking. There was no hesitation involved, and that specifically was the kind of important part of this. The fact there was no hesitation, we just got straight to it. A few Stalkers unloading. We'll move to the left-hand side, ready to push up this ramp in toward the natural. Stalkers blink in, Bunker taking quite a lot of damage, so and a few hits off there, and we will knock this Bunker down. So Bunker falling. Nice to get rid of the Bunker, of course. And just seeing the Robo Facility producing an Immortal, getting that Storm on the way out as well. Factory lifts off the Tech Lab, moves up to the north to build a Tech Lab too. We still have this Nexus on the way on the side of Kratos. Again, our 3rd base up and running with the Storm. And just still trying to Stalker drop just to find some bits and pieces of damage, but I mean, you'd probably get a couple SCVs here before the tank forces you to lift off, especially because you don't have to lift up all your Stalkers at once. You can just lift up the most hurt one initially. Obviously makes a lot of sense. There's an Auto Turret, though, harassing, and ooh, the feedback follow-up. But if nothing else, at least now the Raven knows that there's going to be High Templar here, so as 4 probes go down, the Raven also scouts. And it will just go sit in the corner and wait for a bit later in this game, where it can once again come down the low ground. Choose between the natural and the main base as to where he wants to drop the Auto Turrets, and just get further harassment going, like I said, further down the line here. Trifecta of Terran upgrades are all on the way. Stim, Combat, and +1 all producing. Going to begin to move forward just slightly. See a couple of Stalkers coming forward. We're just going to have first Storm coming down out of the Prism as well, so that's going to be something we keep our eyes on, as there is a Matrix to lock down the Prism. Suddenly High Templar can't get out. That's a problem. So there's Raven showing up big. Another Matrix going down. We just have this push forward. This Nexus taking some damage. Honestly, feels as though this is just going to drop down dead. So this base, third base, just falls instantly. We Matrix the Prism again. So the fact that we had a second Raven was absolutely huge here, because we've just not let the High Templar be a part of this fight at all. And that means that HeroMarine has just been able to waltz in and do whatever he wanted now. This is interesting. He's still going to shut down reinforcements, but the tanks are going to start covering the ramp. That Creator has to come back up, and well, I mean, you could argue... Oh my god, another Matrix. Suddenly the High Templar are locked behind the Prism again. Oh geez, this is bad. Probes are long distancing here as well. We're just going to go chasing down that group of units. The Storks will come from the other side, though, and we're going to have to turn and decide if we want to protect the tanks or not. Finally, the Prism gets to unload the High Templar, and the first storms come down. Marines are getting shredded by those storms, but Curator has honestly already been shredded by this Terran force. As you push on through, another High Templar goes down, game gets called, and HeroMarine just locks down the Prism and says, oh, you have your High Templar in there? Sorry, they're not allowed to drop out.